All right, guys. We just crashed, so we're live again, and hopefully the audio isn't horrible. So you guys give me some feedback. Yeah, Carol, we're back. Okay, audio is better. Maggie, welcome back. Sorry about that, guys. I guess I had to restart, and that's Facebook for you. And we learned this last week, how how unreliable Facebook can and may be. And what's funny is David, thank you for the 100 stars. You are awesome. Laura says everything is all good. So I'll just ask again, guys, give me feedback if the audio and video is good for you guys. I just want to make sure everything's okay. So Maggie says still sounds funny. I don't have any different settings to do. I can turn the gain down. Is that better, guys? David says the audio is still... Okay, I turned the gain down. Let me know how the audio is. David, I know David is an authority on audio, so David, let me know. Okay, everyone's saying it sounds fine. Good. Okay. And just let me know if it's too loud, because I've been doing these same settings for the past few lot episodes. So that's extremely helpful for me to know that the gain has been too high. Janella says turn your speakers down. Janella, you're awesome. Okay, everyone's saying the audio is much better. Thank you guys for the assistance with that, and apologize for the system crash. As we all know, Facebook can and may be unreliable, and our moderator said that Facebook might be futzing with our settings, which could be possible. Kelly Life says, I know it's getting dark nowadays. Remember feedback about doing this live face-to-face at a park for Castro Valley News maybe next year? Oh, yeah. We definitely need to work on a get-together with everyone. Carol, give me the Canyon Middle School soccer team information again so I can read that again, because the last time that you posted it and I read it, I was kind of trying to figure out the audio here. So definitely give me that one more time. And I apologize. We lost a bunch of people because we had to restart, but we've got a lot of people here. So Todd says you called Facebook unreliable, so Facebook ended your show. Conspiracy. Cali Life says he'll talk to Mark Z about the lag. Thank you. So if the audio's good, let's get back to the show and just let's rock this as much as we can. Carol says Canyon Middle School soccer, correct, has gone undefeated, 9-0. No one has scored on them. That's awesome. Carol, if you can get me a team photo, and I'd like to share that if you can. If you have access to that team, definitely send me a picture, and let's put something out there and let people know in a separate post what Canyon Middle School is doing. Please, Carol, follow up on that. Send me a picture of the team if you can and the information. I'd love to share that and let people know what's going on. And also, when the next game is, let me know what happened with that. But in the meantime, definitely send me that information. So if you just joined us, you can probably disregard the last post. The audio was whack. And yeah, the audio wasn't happening, and we're just starting the show fresh. My name is Roberto. This is Castro Valley News Live. This is a thing we do every Tuesday Carol says the kids at Canyon Middle School are wearing childhood cancer awareness socks as part of their uniform. That's awesome. Bob is back. Thank you. I'm glad we didn't lose you, Bob. So yes, we are here in episode 77. Is that what it says? Yeah, I think we're episode 77. I know I say this every week. It just blows my mind that this has gone on for 70. Actually, it's been more than 77 weeks because I think I missed a couple weeks here and there. But at any rate, I'm going to go by the clock that I have here that says we're only 6 minutes into it, and I know the time says 7:20, but we'll try to make it a full hour. We're still doing the roll call. So if you are listening, you want to shout out, post up a comment, and I'll give you a shout out. It's a cool way for us to get to know each other's first names and kind of in a wacky way, not a wacky way, in a fun way, get introduced with each other. And Maggie is saying 77 episodes. This is the 77th episode, and it's pretty remarkable. It's amazing, for the lack of a different term, that we've been doing this so long. Good evening, Soshi. And I think I got your name right. I love saying your name. It's musical. Good evening, Soshi. Correct me if I got it wrong, but I think I'm pretty sure I got it right. Good evening, Soshi. I love saying that name, Soshi. Good evening. Yes. So if you're listening, post up a comment, and we'll give you a shout out as part of the roll call, and we'll move on to other things. If everyone listening has who wants one has gotten a shout out. And again, I apologize for the crash that happened before. And I think, has there actually been an explanation to what Soshi? So I did say it right, Soshi. Good evening to Mary. Mary is listening as well. I hope you're having a wonderful evening, Mary. Mary said hello, and I think that's British. That was cute. ELLO, like hello. Good evening. That's cute. I'm getting silly. Sorry, guys. We're still doing the roll call here. So if you're listening and want to shout out, just post something up, and we will say hello. Our moderator just found something that our first videos were posted more than 9 years ago. That's amazing. That's our YouTube channel is up. There's a link to our YouTube channel, and there's a ton of content in our YouTube channel. Things that are 9 years old, things that are more recent. But I think you can find just about every one of our restaurant reviews there. You can find a lot of our cooking shows with Igor. Those are on there. You can also find, any news stories. There was a trip that I did to the island at Lake Chabot. That video is on there. There's also a video of a tour that I went on in the missile silo at Lake Chabot. So if you have time and you want to binge watch something, just pull up the Castro Valley News YouTube channel, and there's tons and tons of content there. Good stuff in there. And we've been doing videos 9 years. All these numbers are just blowing my mind. 77 episodes in 9 years. And, we just got the photo of the Canyon Middle School students. That's awesome. So if you're listening to and watching the show and you want to shout out, just post up a comment. We'll say hello. And, where is Kimberly? I hope because we had to restart that we missed Kimberly. And I hope we didn't miss Todd. And Cali Life says 77 can't wait till the big 8-0. Right on, Cali Life. Topic that I wanted to move to next, if we're done with the roll call, you guys let me know. If there's anybody listening who wants a shout out, please just post up a comment and we'll give you a shout out. It's a cool thing that we do to kind of get to know who's listening. And also, there is a phone line that is open, 510-331-9112. If you would like to text comment, complaint, confession, a recipe, a news tip, whatever you got, 510-331-9112 is the number. You can text, you can call. Most people prefer to text. It's a little bit easier. I will not share your first name. If your name does come up, I'll just say your first name. If it doesn't, I'll just mention like a call from the 510 or a call from the 415. Most of them will probably be those two prefixes. But anyways, with that said, there's something else that I didn't have on the list that I wanted to mention. And this was super cool that happened last week during the end of the show. And it was, we were talking about, I don't remember what we were talking about, but there was a message from someone. Hang on. So this message was from a person who said that they had a SWAT team across the street from their house. And naturally, my interest was piqued, totally piqued. And what had happened was, at the end of the show, because the message came in moments before the end of the show, and this person said a couple of different times that they had a SWAT team in front of the house across the street from them, and they were asking if I knew what was going on. And I said, well, send me an inbox message. Let me know your street name, wherever you're located at specifically, and I'll see what information I can get for you. And in the conversation that I have with this person, I'm getting to the point, I know I'm kind of belaboring the point here. But, oh, wait, Janella is tagging Tanya. Good evening, Tanya. I hope Tanya ends up listening. But getting to the point with that message from that person about the SWAT team, this person was in North Dakota, and it makes me smile, and it's kind of amusing because it just kind of illustrates the power of social media. It's just cool that someone in North Dakota tuned into a live show and thought that I could get some information in regards to the North Dakota police who were doing some sort of SWAT operation. We're still doing some roll call shout outs here. Dustin, good evening. Dustin, it's okay that you're late because the first stream crashed, so you're definitely welcome to the show. Thank you, Janella, for 50 stars. You are awesome. Good evening to Michael. Michael says, there's a guy from Castro Valley that just moved up here in Amador County. His name is Gabe. Well, Gabe, we will miss you and Michael in Castro Valley. Christine is saying, hi, David. This is not David. This is Roberto. But Christine, thank you. Christine's message is the Castro Valley Eden Area Chamber is having the first in-person mixer October 21st at the DSAL Food Hub, 2700 Fairmont Drive from 5:30 to 7:30. Come on out. Christine, this is Roberto, and you need to give me the date on that. Oh, October 21st. Oops. So I'll give you that one more time since I completely futzed up the whole delivery. I said futzed. Castro Valley Eden Area Chamber of Commerce is having their first in-person mixer October 21st at DSAL Food Hub, 2700 Fairmont Drive, 5:30, 7:30. It is free, hosted by CV Rotary and DSAL. Maggie says, I sent stars. Did you get them? Maggie, because we crashed, I'm not sure if I got them, but I'm going to thank you in advance because you send stars all the time. So thank you. Maggie, thank you. You are awesome. I need to send you a check for helping promote the show. We can still do the roll call. We are time-wise late and behind as well because of the crash and the terrible audio, which people are telling me now that the audio is good. So, Todd says that will be such a cool mixer seeing DSAL co-hosted with CV Rotary and DSAL. That's awesome. Thank you again, Maggie. I'm sure we'll get your stars. Thank you so much for all you do to make the show awesome. Somebody else just sent stars. So it takes a... Thank you for the stars, Meredith. Tanya says the community cupboard would like to thank you Tanya says to Janella, the community cupboard would like to thank you very, very much for your generous donation. Thank you for filling lots of tummies. Jamie is joining us from her dog walk, which is cool. Welcome to the show, Jamie. And I'm going to backtrack 1 second, and I want to give a shout out to Tanya because Tanya is responsible for the community cupboard on Forest Avenue. If you have items in your cupboard or items in your refrigerator or freezer that you're looking to weed out, get rid of, please don't throw this food away. There are definitely, as Tanya said, there are tummies in Castro Valley that are in need of filling. So please, Forest Avenue, I don't have the address at my fingertips. You can look up Community Cupboard, Facebook. They have their own Facebook page. And it's an awesome resource for the community. Basically, it's a refrigerator, it's a pantry, it's a cupboard. There's baskets for produce. There's perishable items. There's non-perishable items. Okay, Tanya says, make sure the items are not expired. They have been receiving some expired donations. So definitely do not donate expired items. But please, if you still have food that is good, definitely bring them to the community cupboard. Don't throw good food away. It's terrible. And if you do opt to donate to the community cupboard, please bring them to the doorstep that Tanya requests at so that she can sort through things and make sure things go in the right place. Good evening to Billy Bradford. I hope you're doing well. And Billy is asking, how did Todd get on here in front of him? Good evening to Denise. Denise is in the house. Hope you're doing well. Dustin said, did I see your message above? Was it something different from saying good evening? Dustin, if I missed something, post it again and we will address it. And Paulette, thank you for the 100 stars. And Paulette has sent stars 2 weeks in a row. And Paulette is awesome. If you're looking for a realtor, she is one of the many amazing realtors. She's at Keller Williams in the Village. Ask for Paulette. She's awesome. And she knows a ton of Castro Valley history because she's won, I think, 2 or 3 of the Midway giveaways. And Paulette, thank you for your support. I appreciate it. And with that said, I want to say Janella is also a real estate agent in Castro Valley. My brain is not functioning in accessing the company that Janella works for, but I'm hoping she will post it and I can remind you guys. Dustin says, do you remember what ever happened to the owners of Play It Again video store that was in the Village? I remember going in as a child. Oh, Play It Again. I remember Play It Again. I remember the video store. And the talk might get a little bit steamy and sticky here. Okay, sorry. Maggie's just giving me an address to send a check to. Play It Again video was in the Village, and I don't know what happened to the owners. It's been such a long time, Dustin. I wish I did. There are some folks in the Village that maybe I'll touch base with and see if maybe they know, but it's been a minute since Play It Again closed. The one thing that I do remember most about Play It Again is you would go in, and this was VHS days, so this is old school, and in the back of the store, there would be a curtain. I don't remember what color it was, but it was a curtain, and the curtain was, square. There's a square curtain, and back there, behind said curtain, was where the naughty movies were. Dustin remembers that special area as well. So we just posted Janella's information so that you guys, Dustin was not allowed back there as a child, and nor was I. Bob says you hung out in the back room. I didn't, but I snuck back there once, and it exceeded my expectations. in it was looked like it was like the size of maybe a smaller room. There were so many. Yes, Jamie said adult movies. There were so many adult movies. So floor to ceiling, rack after rack after rack of the big glossy VHS adult movies. And for years and years and years, I was curious. And the owner, who Dustin is asking about, I believe may have been on the phone or tending to another customer, snuck back there. And fortunately, there was nobody else back there. So it satisfied my curiosity. And Jamie says she hung out with the Jordan's book in the Jordan's bookstore with the sticker rolls. Well remembered. I loved the Jordan's, the store itself. And Jim, the owner, was just awesome. Love Jim Jordan. Jim is still, he's still online. I think he still lives local. But the sticker wall at Jordan's was legendary. Their scratch and sniff section was amazing. Good evening to John. John is in the roll call. Janella, let me know the company that you're at, the real estate company that you work with, so that I can mention that. And I apologize that it completely slipped my mind. Oh, Janella just said it. Century 21. So another wonderful, amazing mover and shaker, supporter of our community is Janella. She's a Century 21. I believe they're on Redwood Road, but I will be corrected if I'm not correct. Janella does a ton of stuff with the Chamber of Commerce and does a lot of things that enhances the community and is just an all-around awesome, positive person, an asset to our community, just like Todd and Billy. And I gotta say, Billy, if you're still listening, I'm honored and glad that you're checking out the show. And you're one of my favorite people in Castro Valley, Billy. Billy knows who he is, and known Billy for a bunch of years. Billy's got a ton of heart, and loves our community, and has for years. Billy has been a catalyst for change in a positive way in our community in so many ways. Billy was one of the movers and shakers who made Castro Valley Pride happen with help from Castro Valley High students. And I think the Rotary helped with that as well along the years. And I think the Chamber did as well, but I'm going to give credit where credit is due. It's all Billy. It's all Billy Ray. And I think it's amazing. The change that he has brought, awareness in a positive way, and yes, change, and it's needed and it's appreciated. So Billy, nothing but love for you, sir. Yes, Paulette says Billy Ray is amazing. He's just, like I said, he's one of my favorite people in town. Christine says, sorry Roberto for calling me David. No worries at all, it's all good. Todd says Billy has zero business sense though. Bad business model bikes, $0, $0.00. And Billy also does that. Billy is a cyclist like I am, and Billy has a nonprofit organization called Bad Business Model Bikes. If you have a bicycle that you're looking to donate or get rid of, Billy can use them. He's got a sea of bicycles already. But what he does is he receives donations of bicycles and he refurbishes them. He refurbishes them during his free time, and then he gives them to people who are on a budget and or people who can't afford bicycles. And to me, bicycling is one of those huge joys in life. I haven't done it for a couple weeks, but it has been all my life, and Billy's awesome for doing that. It's amazing. And our moderator just posted a link to Bad Business Model Bikes. Again, if you have a bicycle that you're looking to get rid of, Billy can use them for parts. He can refurbish them for people who are on a budget, people who may or may not have money to afford one, and it's awesome. Kimberly said I called him, he never called back. Billy's got a regular job during the week, and he does this kind of in his spare time. So I will apologize on Billy's behalf. He may have been too busy to get back to you, And it doesn't mean that your call wasn't important to him. But Billy has a life. He's got a family, and it's not this bad business models. The bikes is not his full-time job. It's kind of his side hobby. But I know it's a passion for him. So send him an email or Kimberly. I mean, if you want, send me a message, and I will. I'll come get the bike and I'll bring it to Billy myself, so that we can make sure that Billy gets it. Tony says, you have one. How can I contact him? If you look in the comments, we posted the link to the Facebook page for Bad Business Model Bikes. Another thing is Billy gets so many donations. There are times where he may not have room for bikes. So I'm just trying to give you some insight as to maybe why Billy didn't get back to you. So somebody just asked, what's the prize tonight? And tonight's gift certificate is $20 to, it doesn't say on here, it says really small at the bottom, but it's $20 to Dell Cafe. Go show some love to Sam. Dell Cafe has been on Castro Valley Boulevard for a long time. Don't ask me to to tell you how long they've been here. They have been here a minute. And like many other restaurants, Dell Cafe is doing their best to survive what's happened to all of us with the pandemic. I think I've known Sam for a lot of years. He's just an awesome guy. The food is, Dell is just, it's one of those places. It's a Castro Valley institution. So anyways, Janella, there's the long answer to your short question, that tonight's gift card, $20, will be to Dell Cafe. And we should probably get to the Midway giveaway, which is almost 8. But according to my live video here, we're like 27 minutes. However, we could probably add on the whatever 8-9 minutes from the previous show, couldn't we? What do you think? Anyways, we should probably just get to the Midway giveaway now. Yeah. So if you're not familiar with, there I go with the not familiar with thing. If you are new to the show, what we do is roughly, in theory, we hope to usually do midway during every show, a trivia question. And the person the first person who texts the correct answer wins the gift card. And it's a Castro Valley trivia thing. But first, I would like to let you know that tonight's Midway giveaway is brought to you by Forester.org. And your friends at Forester.org just launched a GoFundMe to expand upon their good work locally and to bring a broader awareness to the issues of litter abatement, reforestation, and climate change. They would love your support in sharing their GoFundMe with friends and family throughout the community. Donations are welcome, of course, but your sharing is caring. And you can learn more. Our moderator will post their GoFundMe and also post the link to Forester.org. That's Forestr.org. They are a Castro Valley-based nonprofit. That means the people who are organizing and doing all the good work with Forester, Forestr, they live in Castro Valley. They're the folks that you see at the side of the freeway near Burger Island. And Burger Island is where Wendy's and McDonald's is. They're the folks you see by the freeway picking up trash, usually every weekend. So Forester, they have skin in the game here in Castro Valley. They love our community. They want things to be better. They want things to be more beautiful. They want more green, more forest. There's a study of the happiness that people impart when there's more trees and foliage present. So, and also it's good for, Maggie says, thank God for Billy. Yes. So Forester.org, educate, plant, and employ. They are the folks that are picking up trash. They are also the folks that They had 2 or 3 plant giveaways. They gave away succulents and vegetables and fruits, and it's awesome. And also, Tanya says their new fruit gleaning program has been a blessing for produce at the community cupboard. Forrester, they clean, green, and glean. There you go. They're gleaning. There was an abundance, a cornucopia of pomegranates and lemons gleaned from local trees that were brought to the community cupboard to be redistributed to folks in the community. So that's forester.org right there. That's what they're doing. forestr.org. Tanya says they have another event on October 30th. So Tanya, please share with me what that event is. If it's another plant giveaway, that would be awesome, because those plant giveaways are popular, super popular. They, at the past 2 or 3 of their plant giveaways, they've given away hundreds and hundreds of plants and vegetable plants, and you put them in the ground and they give you tomatoes and bell peppers, and it's delicious, and you cook with them and it's good. It's green. I don't know why I'm so aggressive with that. Karen says, good evening to you, Karen. I did not miss you. You posted another comment. I was blathering and I didn't say hello. So Karen, I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I got super aggressive about vegetables. Well, I'm a vegetarian, so I don't know. Maybe it just tapped into some passion there. I'm just being stupid. Silly. I'm being silly. Just being silly. So without further ado, Tanya says on October 30th, Forrester will be giving away seedlings and food as well as seeds. Check the website for more details. There's even details on the Facebook page. So I'm hoping our moderator can find, there you go. Right as I was saying it, our moderator just found that stuff. Our moderator, I'm going to tell you this, he's like a Jedi. He's behind the scenes, but he is like, he's got, there's some sort of telekinesis happening, because I'm thinking of posting something or asking him to post a link, and boom, it's right there. It's Jedi mind tricks at work right here. I don't know what's going on. It's a silly night here on the live show, and I apologize. It's just silly. Yeah, our moderator just posted some stuff on that. So we did the roll call. However, if you're still listening and you want to shout out, definitely say hello and I'll give you a shout out. Yes, Midway Giveaway. So the first person to text 510-331-9112, the first person to text the correct answer wins the $20 gift certificate to Dell Cafe. And the winner of this, please, when you go in and you partake in their wonderful offerings, tell them you got the coupon from Castro Valley News Live, and give my very best to Sam, because he's awesome. Such an awesome, positive dude. It's always a pleasure to see him and talk to him. So 510-331-9112. And as our moderator said, yes, be sure to text your answers in. Only texted answers can win. First person to text the correct answer to this question wins $20 to Dell Cafe. What is the address or location of the very first Castro Valley Safeway store? The very first. I'm going to say very first one more time. The very first Castro Valley Safeway store. You can give me the geographic location, the address of the first Safeway store, the very first ever Safeway store in Castro Valley. Well, think back in time. When and where, not when, I don't need when, the year is not important, but where was the first Safeway in Castro Valley located? This is a good one. Oh, Bob won. Right on, Bob. Bob got it. Let me just text. Oops, hang on. So the correct answer is, and Bob got it, corner of Castro Valley Boulevard and Lake Chabot Road. And it has two addresses now. It's currently where JR's Liquors is and Faux Ante 7. That actually was one building back in probably the 40s, and that was where the first Castro Valley Safeway was located. And directly to the right of that, was one of the first, I think the second, Castro Valley Fire Station. So for history buffs, this is cool. This blew my mind when I found it out myself, because I saw a picture of it, and I'll post the photo of it right after the show, so you guys can see how awesome this is. But corner of Lake Chabot Road and Castro Valley Boulevard, the building where you see JR's Liquors and the Faux Ante place. It's called Faux Ante 7 now. It used to be. It wasn't Silver Spoon. What was? Oh gosh. This is the irony here of trivia, that I know I know where the first Safeway was in the 40s, but I don't know the name of the restaurant that was there before Faux Ante 7. But right at the corner of Lake Chabot Road and Castro Valley Boulevard, Tony and Ted's Liquors is now Junior's Liquors. That whole building was one Safeway back in, I think, the 40s, and Bob got it. Congratulations, Bob. So Bob is the winner of the $20 gift certificate to Dell Cafe. Congratulations, Bob. You deserve it. Okay. So that was cool. That was the easy one, and I'm glad. Yes. David got it. David and Paulette, of course, Paulette got it. Noodle Home, China Bowl, and Noodle Home were the two businesses that were there before. And as I was blabbing, everybody else was mentioning it was China Bowl. Elda, I don't think I gave Elda a shout out. Good evening, Elda, and Lorraine as well. Good evening, Lorraine. You guys are welcome to the show. And Jamie says her dad worked for Safeway 30 plus years, worked at the Redwood Road location for 20 of those years. So there you go. Yes, Matella. Good evening, Matella. And also good evening to, I think I said good evening to David as well, but I'll give another one to David because David's an awesome guy. If you're not familiar with who David is, David owns Daily Dose Plant-Based Health. They are in the Adobe Center. This is not a paid advertisement. This is just because I know David and he knows his stuff. If you have insomnia, if you have pain, if you're looking for vegan and vegetarian items, David's got your stuff. It's all natural. It's all plant-based items. Like I said, insomnia, pain relief, and anxiety, those are things that you can go to David for, and he knows this stuff. He's got skin in the game because he's a vegan too, and he loves what he does. And even if you're not just going to go there to buy anything, he's kind of an encyclopedia when it comes to natural things for vegans and things that are alternatives to, the big pharma items that a lot of us rely on, myself as well. David's your go-to guy when it comes to those items. So Daily Dose Plant-Based Health, they are in the Adobe Center, a few doors down from O'Reilly. And let's see here. John gave a warning saying, everyone look out for porch pirates. If you see something, say something. That's an excellent thing to bring up as we are approaching the holidays. And also, of course, just in general during the shelter in place, it seems like most folks are ordering things nonstop from Amazon, myself excluded. I don't know if you guys saw quite a few episodes ago. There was an ongoing conversation where I was kind of flim-flamming, flip-flopping, waffling between staying with Amazon or not. And I actually I deleted my Amazon quite a few times ago. A few months ago. And I don't miss it. I don't miss it one bit. I know it works for a lot of people. There was a conversation where Bob didn't correct me. He gave me insight to this that I hadn't thought about, especially during the pandemic, that Amazon was an extremely helpful thing for seniors who may not get out. So I dig that. I just don't dig the fact that Amazon is so huge. But we should all be able to spend our money where we want to. And I simply have chosen not to spend any more money at all with Amazon. I would rather shop local. I would rather shop small. There were some items that I would repeatedly purchase from Amazon I have gone directly to the company and given my money directly to the company. I've saved a couple bucks here and there from doing that, which is a bonus. It's Ross says one can delete an Amazon account, and he gives a wink. And Ross, you can. Like I said, it took a while, probably about a month, of me waffling and kind of pro and conning the whole situation, and it was a public conversation that I had here with you guys, and a lot of you guys are the listeners, in regards to wanting to shop local and not contribute and support a business that the perception could be that Amazon competes with small businesses. That's my own personal belief, that Amazon in a way can squelch local businesses. And it was, as a small business owner myself, I just didn't want to continue to do that. It's not for everyone. I know there's a lot of people who rely on Amazon insanely. I used to be one of them. I used to order stuff from Amazon all the time, but it was just a conscious decision that I had to make, and I'm actually glad that I did. So there's that. It may not be for you, but we were just talking about Amazon. I was talking about Amazon. I brought Amazon up for some reason. I don't know why. But John said that he found 2 open boxes on Norbridge. Those are Amazon or porch stolen packages from porches. It may be best to, if you can, send your packages to work. If you're concerned about the porch pirates, people stealing packages from porches, there's also an option of the lockers that are at Safeway. The Safeway on Redwood Road, I believe, still has the Amazon lockers. You can also send your items to a neighbor. If you have a neighbor that you know will be home constantly, have them sent there. But it seems like every holiday season there's porch pirates. And it's unfortunately those package thefts are crimes of opportunity, and a lot of times it seems like a lot of the package delivery folks just kind of they just kind of leave the packages on the doorstep, and it's unfortunately it's something of an open invitation to people to just cruise up and take people's items, and it's not a good feeling. It sucks. Where we're located here, we have an office over on Foothill. There was prime example right there, like I just gave. There was a package just left on the porch, and the porch faces the roadway. I mean, the main roadway of Foothill, and there's a sidewalk literally 1 foot away from our front door here, and it was left in kind of a flower bed, but still visible. And this is kind of an amusing story. Someone took a box of soap that I had ordered. They had opened it, brought it back, and said, "Oops, I saw this on your doorstep and I thought you were throwing it away, but I brought it back." So they brought it back. The soap wasn't used, but it was just an interesting story. So do what you can, where you can, to make sure that your packages will not be left on your doorstep. I know if we're not home, we can't be there to tell that package person to please hide it somewhere or obscure it. But Mary says, I pick up my packages at the Postal Annex in the Adobe Center. That's another option. And Mary, I'm so glad that you brought up Postal Annex because I'm there a lot. I sell stuff on eBay, and Postal Annex, the people there are amazing. It's Mina and, I can't think of her name. Inez, the owner. They're super amazing people, super helpful, great folks. They do have, like Mary mentioned, they do have that service for packages to be picked up and delivered at Postal Annex, and you could probably do that at a PO box. You could probably do that at a different postal store. But I'm going to give a shout out to Postal Annex because they are owned by someone who lives in Castro Valley. That's Miss Inez. I hope I'm not saying her name wrong, but they're great folks, wonderful customer service. Okay, Midway giveaway is done. Yes, John says they are nice. They're super nice there at Postal Annex in the Adobe Center. Something that I think it was Deborah. Let me cruise through the comments and make sure I'm quoting the correct person. Yes. Deborah suggested this a couple weeks ago to bring up as a topic for us to talk about, and I hadn't mentioned it, and I apologize to Deborah for forgetting about this. But I think it's good food for thought. If there's anybody listening or anybody who knows anyone who may know of a location that we could secure, and anyone familiar with nonprofit status establishments, we really need a Castro Valley museum. And Deborah mentioned this, and the last letter that I got from Lucille Lorge. Lucille is our local historian. And the last letter that I got from Lucille, and Lucille sends her wonderful recollections and stories of Castro Valley to be shared during the show. We'll do one next week, I promise you. Her last letter said, we need a Castro Valley museum. And it's been peanut butter on the brain for the past few days. And it's so completely true. And I don't want to detract anything from the Hayward area Historical Society, because what they do is wonderful. They have a really, really great collection of Castro Valley items. I'm actually jealous of some of the things that they have because unfortunately we don't have our own museum. So a lot of people who have historical Castro Valley items, they bring them to Hayward, which is wonderful because they have a great staff. They preserve things. They know their stuff. They're great folks, and I hope if anyone's listening who's tied with them doesn't interpret this as me begging on them, because I've gone to them numerous times to look in their archives, and the stuff that they have Castro Valley related is fantastic. It's grand. They have a Grand Slam Castro Valley collection, but we have a World Series historian in Lucille Lorge. And I have a sizable collection of Castro Valley stuff, and I know there's a couple other folks in town who have been collecting for years, and I think it's time. That's right, it was Denise. I hope I said Denise earlier. If I didn't say Denise, I apologize to you, because Denise mentioned that a while ago. Meredith, thank you for 50 more stars. Meredith, you're amazing. Meredith's amazing. Jamie is mentioning an area at the marketplace would be pretty awesome. That's a good idea. I think the museum needs its own space. It would be cool if we could maybe start there in some way. Bob says Hard could donate space in a room at the community center at the Aikens Center. That's a wonderful idea. And Denise, Denise was the one who mentioned this to me a while ago, and I apologize if I was saying somebody else. This was Denise who mentioned a while ago and said, we need a museum. So if you know of a location that would be independent of any other entity, I think the marketplace would be a great idea. I think it might be problematic in the fact that access to the building might be troublesome. The people at the marketplace they may want rent. I'm just going to be blunt. They would probably want rent. So we would need to be a nonprofit. We would need to, we need a location. We need to be nonprofit. We need a name. We need some people to serve on a board. I'm willing to do whatever footwork that's necessary. I know there's other folks in Castro Valley who have been kind of, Ross says the old library. It's a beautiful idea. It's a wonderful idea. I think that building is going to be developed for some homeless housing in the future. But Ross, yes, the old library would be a wonderful location for a Castro Valley museum. Let's get the hive mind moving on this. And if you know of a location where someone might be interested in donating space, or Paulette says the new artisan space at the lumberyard. John says the old Hallmark. I know the rent would be the issue. These are all wonderful ideas. I love everyone's ideas, throwing them out there. I just think it's high time that we have our own museum, because there's a ton of wonderful history that's really at our fingertips. Lucille Lorge is an encyclopedia of that history, and she's she's vibrant, and she knows so much about her community, and she would be such an asset to any museum that might happen. So yeah, if you guys have if you guys are struck with an epiphany, definitely send me an inbox and let me know. Denise says too small for some locations. That can also be a consideration, because when you have a location that can be the base of that can be built upon, that's when you get tons and tons of donations. So space might be problematic for us in that respect, but I think it's a wonderful conversation to have at any point in time, because it's long overdue. It's way long overdue. If we had a big enough location, we could even get that canoe in our museum. And I'm just going to wait for the tomatoes and bricks to be tossed my way, because I mentioned the canoe. If you guys are not familiar with the canoe or where it's at now, it's still sitting in a repair. It's in a maintenance garage in Dublin, adjacent to the jail. And Denise says we need a foundation, and that's accurate. But I do think it would be pretty awesome if our museum had the entire canoe. And it's huge. It's huge, and it's heavy. It weighs a ton. It's still intact. It is. Our moderator said that we could sell selfies with the canoe at $1 a pop. That would be awesome. Unfortunately, I think one of the last story that I did about the canoe, we would probably need approval from the artist. Her name is Sheila Klein. She lives in Seattle. We would need approval from her to actually have the canoe moved to our museum. But I've spoken to her before, and maybe I could speak to her again and maybe work some magic and get the canoe at our museum. I'm just blue skying here, because I think the potential and the opportunity for that is amazing. So again, if you guys know of a physical location that might be suitable or appropriate or financially feasible for a Castro Valley Museum, let us know. Denise says we definitely need a foundation. So if there's people who are interested. There we go. Our moderator just found the last canoe episode that we did on our YouTube channel, and that's actually, it's a long one, and it's really an interesting one to check out. We spoke to Mary King, who was the supervisor way back in the 90s when the canoe was removed, and I think that was 96, 97, 90 something, when the canoe was removed from Redwood Road. And I'm sorry that the conversation has kind of veered towards the canoe, but I think it would be awesome for us to have the canoe in our museum. With that said, hey guys, I wanted to remind you, because the show's almost over. Let me pull this up here. Definitely, guys, if you are ready for Halloween, you got to go down to the village, and you need to take a selfie. Since we're talking about selfies, you need to go down to the village and take a selfie at their selfie station. It is, it's near See's Candy. There's a big plastic backdrop that says Halloween Castro Village. You can't miss it. It's got a haunted house. The cool thing about this is you take a selfie photo and you email it to villagehalloweencontest@gmail.com. Give you that one more time. villagehalloweencontest@gmail.com. And there will be 4 winners drawn from all of the entrants. It's free to enter. All you have to do is go take a selfie. You can take a selfie in a costume, Halloween costume, not in a Halloween costume. It doesn't matter. But send your selfie to villagehalloweencontest@gmail.com, and there will be 4 winners chosen. I think it's at the beginning of November, and the first prize is a $500 gift card to the store of your choice in the village. Second is a $250 gift card to the store in the village of your choice. The third is a $200 gift card to the store shop service in the village of your choice. And the fourth is a $50 gift card. So give you that one more time. First place, $500 gift card. Second is $250 gift card. Third is $200 gift card. Fourth is $50 gift card. All you have to do is go take a picture, a selfie. You can have someone take your picture. You can take their pictures. You both can enter. And you can win all those gift cards for Halloween. It's that easy. I would go do it, but we're helping the village promote this, so I'm excluded. Otherwise, I would definitely enter. Again, one more time. The selfie station is located near See's Candy in the village. All you got to do is walk up to it, bop, 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 do your selfie, send it in, villagehalloweencontest@gmail.com. Excuse me, I'll give you that one more time. Make sure I get that correct. Yes, villagehalloweencontest@gmail.com. You could be a winner. Go to castrovillage.com to view the full list of rules, because there's rules. You have to be 18 or over to enter, and all the rest of the rules are there. Also, the last thing, yeah, we're close to the hour. The last thing that I wanted to mention is, guys, because of what's happening with the shelter in place and all that situation, we won't get into there. The Greek Festival is going to be Saturday, October 16th and Sunday, October 17th. What they're doing is they're doing a mini Greek festival, and you can order all of your wonderful Greek food online at greekfestival.me. I give you that one more time. You can order online and look at their website. You can check out the menu. It's greekfestival.me. Unfortunately, they've decided to not do an in-person thing, so there's not going to be performers and all the entertainment and the vendors, but they are still going to be doing the wonderful Greek food. And I know there's tons of folks in Castro Valley who love all of the wonderful Greek food that is being served up at the Greek Festival. And I think they've been doing that at the at that location on Center for a number of years. So I'm going to give you that one more time. It's greekfestival.me. You can order anytime, and they're doing takeout, and it's all wonderful handmade Greek food. It's good stuff. Just go check out the menu. I'm sure there's something that you like. They have pastries, they have the gyros. They have you name it. If you like Nick the Greek, and I know there's a ton of people in town who like Nick the Greek, and Nick the Greek is authentic. Check out the Greek festival food. Yeah, I'm just saying. I know there's a lot of people who like Nick the Greek, but check out the Greek festival stuff. It's good. I've been there. The food is amazing. I'm a vegetarian, so their vendors hooked me up with some vegetarian stuff. GreekFestival.me. Check them out. With that said, I think that's the show. Yeah, we're at an hour. There was one more thing that I wanted to mention, and it's probably best that it's at the end of the show. I don't know if I want to get preachy. There was a post yesterday about Indigenous Peoples Day, and there were some people who pushed back, saying that it's still Columbus Day. I get where those folks are coming from. I think we, as a country, as a nation, as a planet, as a species, as human beings, we need to really look at some of the things that we've been taught in school. And some of those things may not be I'm trying to tread this lightly. The things that we were all taught, I myself were taught and exposed to in school. Now, looking back, not completely taking into account all of the truth, may not have taken into account a lot of people who may have been treated unfairly, who were treated unfairly. People who may have had their land or their freedom taken from them unjustly. And I shared something about Indigenous Peoples Day because there were people on this land before anybody said that they discovered this place. So I think we've made leaps and bounds when it comes to understanding each other, but I think we still have a lot more work to do in that respect. I think, oh man, I almost dropped the F-bomb. Oh, I think racism and bias are stupid. It's dumb. It's ignorance. So anyways, a moderator says, giving love to others does not reduce the love we have for everyone. I think that's beautiful. I think we can all use an infusion of understanding and compassion for each other, particularly people who may not agree with us. We're all humans. We're all on the same team. Sometimes we just choose to wear different jerseys, and I don't know what else to say. You guys have been awesome. Thank you for your patience with the drop in the transmission and the audio wonkiness. You guys are awesome. This is it just blows my mind how amazing and supportive you guys are in this little show. And we'll see you next week, Tuesday at 7 p.m. Hopefully I'll be less preachy and there'll be less tech issues. You guys are awesome. Be good to each other, and go A's. When the going gets weird, the word turn pro. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much.